A Justice Department watchdog reportedly finding James Comey defied authority and was insubordinate as FBI director. Multiple reports coming out that a source says a draft report explicitly, again, used that word insubordinate to describe Jim Comey's behavior. Note Fox has not been able to independently verify this information. Reportedly, the report will come out next week. It has been a year in the making. Let's bring in attorney Harmeet Dhillon. Joins me now. Great to see you, Harmeet. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, happy to be here, Liz.
So Donald Trump, the president, asking today, when will people start saying, thank you, Mr. President, for firing James Comey? Your reaction to that?
Yes, I think that many of us have been saying that already for quite a while, and the Inspector General report is expected to give some support for that. But, you know, I have many, many questions. If insubordination is sort of the bottom line of what James Comey did wrong, I mean, that's not very much. I think a lot of us think there's a lot more to the story than that. Right now, it's holier than a block of Swiss cheese, what we know about this. Just today, Judicial Watch came out with some emails that are from their, their request for information about the tarmac meeting. And, you know, around that, it shows that the Department of Justice and FBI were talking about conclusions in the Clinton email investigation 3 months before it's previously been known. And also that the FBI agents around that viewed their job as protecting the reputation of Comey as opposed to doing right towards the United States. And so, we still don't know a lot, and so we're reacting to rumors and leaks. And as we know from Washington, these leaks are always usually with an agenda. So I'm going to reserve judgment on the conclusions until we see the actual report a week from today, actually, which is the president's birthday, ironically.
That's a good point. It could, this report could undermine and undercut the charge that the president obstructed justice when he fired James Comey, right? That's what the report basically could support the president's choice in firing him, that Rod Rosenstein said you should fire him, right?
Right. I think there's no doubt about that. I mean, you led in with a clip about Comey saying he's looking forward to these conclusions. These conclusions reflect very poorly, even if that's all it is. They reflect very poorly on his judgment and what he did. He took the reins. He basically grabbed authority from the Attorney General without authorization, and then he ignored high-ranking Attorney General office instructions to not affect the outcome of the election with his October letter. And on top of that, we've seen him in his book tour recently say things about how he, did not think very highly of the Attorney General and the way she conducted herself in this regard. So, I mean, certainly there's plenty of grounds to fire somebody for any of those things, but there's probably more to it than that, because this has been a year in the making. Yeah. It's repeatedly been delayed, and so you have to assume that there's a lot more detail there that reflects poorly on many other people as well.
Loretta Lynch is going to be in the crosshairs in that report, reportedly as well. Harmeet, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz telling Fox someone he thinks leaked the report on Comey out of fear that it would be edited and changed at the last minute. Let's listen to his claim, his argument. Let's listen.
Number one, somebody leaked it because they're afraid it's going to get changed. And they want people like us to see the original. And I hope that Horowitz holds on to the original draft so he can be questioned about it. Second, it proves that we never needed a special counsel. We have the Inspector General. He is independent. He does a great job. All of this could have been done through the Justice Department. Regular lawyers. You don't need to bring in a multi-million-dollar group of people with a target on the back of specific individuals. That's not the way justice should operate.
I think he kind of contradicted himself, because if the report gets changed at the last minute and you don't need a special counsel, you might need a special counsel for his claim that, Dershowitz has no evidence of this. But what do you think of his claim?
Well, I respect Professor Dershowitz tremendously, but I disagree with him in this regard because, number one, there are a number of different reasons somebody could leak something. They could leak it, for example, to pre-socialize it with the targets of the report so that they have their story straight when the media starts asking them questions. So it could be for any number of reasons. But the other thing is this report only goes to the Hillary Clinton email investigation drama, and so it kind of has a hard stop around the time of the election. It does not go into the Russia investigation, which is a subject of the special counsel. And the Inspector General, I'm sure it's going to be an excellent report, like we saw the detail in the McCabe report, but they don't have prosecutorial ability. And so if conclusions are there that crimes were committed, it's going to have to be handed over to a prosecutor. So I think he's actually talking about two separate things and maybe conflating them in a way.
Harmeet Dhillon, we love having you on. Great analysis there. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Okay.